Welcome back to the Hypervision podcast. Sorry about the slight delay from last, I don't even know what it's going to add. Whatever the NFL podcast comes out. Long delay. I moved. This is not my same room. I live with this guy now. Not Donald Glover, that guy.
No, you live with Donald Glover.
Yeah, so I spent most of today at least doing all of that stuff on the wall, but other than that, the last 4 or 5 days have just been spent moving out,
living
unpacking.
In boxes.
Yeah. Finally getting food in the fridge yesterday. After staying here for 3 or 4 nights.
I don't think we have food in the fridge yet.
Next week,
jelly.
Getting food next week in our fridge.
We have goldfish, and jelly. Goldfish is in the pantry, not the fridge, though. So
you never know. Could be good. Nice little cold snack.
Yeah. Or there's a lot of fish in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Not goldfish.
Yeah.
We brought it back. Prime. I don't know how long it's been, or if it's even been around this season, but it's here. You got water. You're fine. Yeah. No, I haven't had much of a moment to sit down and collect my thoughts for the last week and a half, or really for the last month, because I think I get. So the last month, the longest time I sit in my chair at home is to film a podcast. That's about it. Yeah, so that's been my life lately. Anyway, Andrew's back, our Europe friend.
Yeah, that's me. Europe guy.
Yeah.
Europe guy.
We're going to talk about Europe again. We are not going to talk about Europe. We're done with that. I don't know if I'm going to ask you a Europe question, actually.
You can ask me whatever you want to ask.
That was what the podcast last time was for. Anyway, before we get into him, shout out to our sponsors. Legacy Cornhole. Bryce, I'm still waiting on my board. It's been a couple months, man. I want it.
Yeah,
We're running out of weather for it.
Yeah, I'll see what's happening there. I know he's kind of, he has a job now. Well, he had a job before, but he has a job that's more. It's more like a traditional 9-to-5. But I don't know what the business is looking like. I know he still does it, but I don't know in what capacity. So, we'll do a little check-in.
Good.
See what's up.
That was good. I was going to go a whole side tangent. I don't need to do that. Okay. What else? Okay. Yeah, I did my Prime sponsorship. That's there. It's whatever. Is that it for my sponsorships and my endorsements? Do I have anything? Fast Pass?
Yeah, shout out. Alex wanted me to do a shout out. This is probably going to get cut, which is totally fine with me. But it was for just to say that James Charles is thick, and she has a nice. So I don't know. I mean, take that how you want it. That can be cut. It's fine with me. I just told Alex that I would say it. So he said I didn't have the cojones to say that. So, and I said otherwise. So I had to do it here. So
Okay. Good to know.
So shout out Alex.
Yeah. since he mentioned that last part, I have to now because that looks like Noah has no balls. Can't do that to him.
No, it has to, man.
We'll keep it in.
No, man, it has to.
There you go, Alex. You get your way. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
That's it? End the podcast? Cool.
Podcast.
That was easy, man.
So no, before we hop into the topic, I'm just curious. So how was the move? It's to me at least. I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like it happened fairly quickly. I don't know. It just happened. Like 1 minute I see Drew's we got the house, and then the next minute I see his room all tore up, and I'm like, oh boy.
We got maybe a 15-hour notice to be like, yo, lease starts tomorrow, you can move in. That's not normal, but it happened.
Yeah, he texted us a Wednesday night. Thursday we went over and signed everything, closed it, and then Friday I started moving.
Yep.
Like that.
I think I slept there Saturday night, so it was quick. Kind of like yours, Noah. One day you were, living up in A-Town, and then all of a sudden you were like, oh, by the way, I'm moving to Akron.
Yeah, it can happen fairly quickly. So yeah, it
After
seems like a good little setup there, right? I like
I'm
it.
getting there.
Little back.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's a little
I like
cluttered
it.
at the moment with
Are
just
those
everything on the floor.
LEDs
Huh?
under the? Are those lights under
Yeah, I
the picture?
tried to like backlight it so they would like shoot out a little bit, but I couldn't fit it to also have them stick on the wall. But I still like the way it looks.
It lights up the whole canvas, which I think is cool.
You get a little bit of the underlights where you can see one of them is off color a little bit, but that's fine. They're cheap.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like it. Yeah, I'll
If at
make
any
my way
point
down there.
these
Yeah.
vinyls could just fall off the wall, there's just a little hook at the bottom here that they're just resting on. So there's like a centimeter of something holding them up. But
Gotcha.
they're probably fine.
Yeah, I'll make my way down there soon. See the place. So
Okay, we got a nice couch for you.
I'm pumped.
Tyler's got his floor. Anywhere he wants, really. There's multiple floor.
There's a lot of
areas.
floor. And beanbag
A lot of
chairs.
Anyway, the basement honestly is like the moment I start like I don't have a lot of space in here, but like I think I did pretty well. The moment I get downstairs to the basement, I start decorating. It's over. I'll be down there for a week.
Let's get a basement.
It's unfinished, but it's pretty big.
Which
Yeah.
means I can do even more damage to it.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right.
I think the basement's where I'll get my most rearranging done. Because downstairs in the family room, the couch is just too big. I don't want to move it every month. Because as no one knows, I rearrange a lot. In here, I don't think I'm going to do too much now just because I just put so much on the walls.
Kind of committed.
And this is already the background now. I don't want to change that. My room, I don't have a lot of room to work with in there. The bed takes up most of it. So
You have a lot of fun with the bar. The future bar that we will build. It will be magnificent. But
yeah, no, the move was quick, but it was good, I guess. I don't think I lost anything. I got a lot of things out of it, honestly. Just anything my parents didn't want in their house, they're like, you can take that, sure. So free stuff's always good. It's the best stuff, actually.
Yeah. Hopefully, whenever I move next, I can decorate some more. It would be nice.
I could rearrange your apartment. Yeah, that's fine.
No, that was great. That was awesome. I just, I like to do my own, my own stuff to my room and stuff. Put posters or not posters, but just stuff on the wall would be nice. To not have a blank white wall.
Yeah.
So maybe one day.
One day.
We'll
Are you still planning on moving out soon?
Yeah, I got to be out by the end of this month. So,
end of next month, like end of October?
The end of this month.
Oh, and that this month.
Yeah, so I will be out of this place within the next 3 weeks. So
yeah,
and into somewhere else. So trying to finalize some things, but yeah.
Are you gonna live with anyone you work with?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm just getting a little bit tired of like just moving every year. It's been kind of annoying. Like if you count college, like I've never stayed in a place more than 2 years, and it's kind of frustrating because I keep on moving stuff, but because this is how it works sometimes. So, but yeah, so I gotta be out of here by the end of this month, and yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
Yeah. All right. So we got a podcast to do, I guess, at some point.
Life updates out of the way.
Yeah. Fun parts out of the way. Now we're into the boring part. This is when you click off, and our watch time goes down on YouTube. You know who you are. I think I carry the watch time on YouTube, honestly. It's fine.
Yeah,
Fans aren't
loyal. I don't watch YouTube. I'm sorry. I listen on audio only.
It's fine.
That's the way I consume podcasts, man.
We'll be famous one day. I don't actually care about that. I just think it's funny that when I look, the average watch time doesn't go up like a normal, like over half until I watch it just all the way through. I'll talk to them when I need to. Anyway, I'm out of practice here.
What are we talking about today, Drew?
Probably nothing.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Letting go. That's I didn't pull Noah at all, by the way.
What?
Letting go is the topic. That I
Letting
wanted
go.
to.
Okay. I prepared for the topic that you sent me earlier, but that's fine.
What was that?
You texted me and said, "What's the fear?"
Okay.
like
Yeah. We I think that's part of what Andrew wants to get into.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
yeah.
fine.
Good thing you're prepared for that. I'm not.
Yeah, you'll come up with it on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, my idea so this was like a while back. I was writing down some ideas of just like things I was thinking about with my life and then with other people that I know. So that was when I came up with Ian's of personality boxing and all that stuff. And then on the next page, I wrote down. I think I probably went bullet point first before I did a title. So the first thing I'd written down was the learning how to break out of funks, slumps, or rough patches. Because I think we've talked about this quite a bit of like, I think the first one I can think of is like, especially with Jameson's episode, just like only feeding off of like good moments where you're like, oh, I'm feeling good. I've got a good couple weeks coming up. Like, and you just build off of that. And it's kind of just like a spurt of like a good time in your life. And then all of a sudden you're just right back in them. And in case you guys don't know, it's bad. Part of it goes along with like me wanting to know like what happens inside people's brains and what motivates them and like what really gets them to go is like how to get them to break out of their bad spells, out of their funks and stuff like that. Because, and again, like I relate to sports a lot. Like if you've got a player in a bad run of form, like he just can't seem to connect a pass to save his life or put a shot on target, or like football, you know, he can't seem to run his route properly, or he can't block his man, he can't connect a pass, he can't make a kick, he can't catch a punt, can't punt the ball, anything, any sport, you name it. You want to figure out what ways you can get those players out of that as quick as possible. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit here and tell you this is how you do it. That's not my job. I'm just going to tell you ways that I think help. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not perfect at this, but I think I do good. We'll see. But also, I have him here and Noah here. They're smarter than I am. A little bit more. I don't know. Not. How am I going to word it? Just less insane, maybe, than I am. So that definitely helps. Okay. I'll say a few things and I'll let you guys go. The first just few things I said that were like big things of like, all right, this is how I'm going to let go. I'm just going to try to, one, ignore resistance. So if I feel like there's something in my life that's pushing back at me, normally, you know, like a big thing you can just go is say like, yeah, you're right. I'm getting resistance here. Maybe I shouldn't. Like that's how you take it as a sign of I shouldn't do this, and you just walk away. But in reality, a lot of times resistance is when you're going to break through to your best things. That was on the spot. That was bad. Ooh, okay. I'll tie this into you perfectly. My next one is embrace the unknown. Or like the unaware. Of what life is. And if there's anyone here that should be able to speak about how to embrace the unknown, the unaware, it should be the guy that has a whole brand titled what?
Project Unaware. Yeah. I guess I can go from there. Yeah, so I don't know. One big thing in my life has always, especially going near the end of college, has been kind of embracing that unknown, unaware aspect. Like for people who don't know me, and probably the reason Drew brought me on this is, especially over the past few years, I've pretty much chased everything I wanted and tried a whole lot of new things and haven't really let fear rule my life or people kind of dictate who I am, I've kind of been able to, in a sense, let go of all that just junk and, confinements that a lot of people struggle with. And one aspect of that, a lot of people would always ask me, like, how do you do that? Why, etc. And so I kind of came up with that idea is, sometimes it's okay not to know the outcome of things. We sit here a lot and be like, oh, well, what if Drew thought this if I did this? What if Noah would think I'm horrible, or, if I mess up, or, what would happen if and you keep filling the blanks and just a million things fly through your brain. And it always just excuses that stop you from doing what you actually want to do. And so there's this point of letting go, or the way I kind of coin it is just, unaware. Like, it's okay not to know the outcome of things. It's okay to go and fail. It's okay to try things. And from my point of view, if you try it and you don't like it, now you know. But you could spend 5 years waiting to try something and you would have hated it in the first place. Right? So there's a lot of aspects of, just being able to let go and not care can help, chase your dreams, achieve things, accomplish the stuff you've always wanted to. Like Drew was talking about building habits where it's not just mountain peaks of doing things, but it's more just always is getting comfortable with that discomfort, I guess you could say, of not knowing. So that lets you just keep pushing and getting up and trying new things. I think that helps a lot, just in mentality and habit building. And then one other thing, you brought up resistance. I read a whole book and did a whole series on this, but one way I try and live my life, especially within the letting go aspect, and for me that oftentimes plays into what other people think, but that's one avenue. On the resistance side, a lot of times you can use it as a compass. Like if something has a lot of resistance, you want to do it, but you feel like, maybe I should sleep in, maybe tomorrow. Or, well, I don't know, it seems hard. A lot of times that means you should do it. Like you should push and go that way. And so you can use resistance in your own life as this compass to point towards the things you really want to do. That's one thing I would say, try. Obviously that takes being self-aware of, what your resistance is and how that plays out in your life. But if you get to that point, I think it helps, because it's helped me a lot personally.
Noah, just because I didn't prep you on the topic, I want to get your raw thoughts on how you feel about letting go in your own life. Like if you're good with that.
I was kind of listening there. I feel like, trying to, being comfort. What was that saying again? Being comforting discomfort. I forget. What I was saying.
Sounds like something.
Being comfortable with the discomfort. Is that correct?
I like it.
It is now.
Something around, I forget what Andrew was talking about there, but that's kind of what I've been striving to do. Like, I still feel like I struggle with that. I feel like since I've been like alone too, it's kind of tough, being by myself and kind of, I really get into my own head a lot, and that's I've struggled with that. So letting go there. But like I feel like I've sort of stepped out. We've talked about it, Drew. Stepping out of comfort zones and stuff like that. And I feel like I've done that too. But it's something that I still struggle with, honestly.
So I'll pose this question, and I guess I'll bring up reference for whys. In my life, a lot of the times where I think of letting go comes to what other people think of me. Especially like in high school, in early college, that was something that was always a driver is, well, what would other people think if I, did this or traveled here or tried this thing? Right. And I realized, maybe sophomore year that was just leading to someone that wasn't me. I was just living this fake life that, I was just living by what other people wanted. And so, a lot of times that still kind of comes up. It was a habit of mine. And I still say, well, what if I got to catch myself in that aspect So I kind of want to pose that question to you guys: is there something that you always find yourself, fearing that you want to let go, or if it is that other people think of you, what do you always worry about in that aspect? If that makes at all any sense.
Me? You want me to go first? So what I thought about honestly is I just whenever especially in the job that I'm into, it's like I try and be like as professional as possible. But like to me, I just don't feel like I come off as professional, or I feel like whenever somebody would see me, I fear that they won't take me, serious. And I think that has to do with, I get like I said, I get in my own head a lot, but it's like body type, just like the way I look, stuff like that, I think really factors into it. And I've
Mm-hmm.
really tried to like sit back and be like, okay, like I need to stop caring like what other people would think about me and just, just be myself, be that, be cool, calm and collect, but it's tough sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of, being in my own head and stuff. But I feel like, yeah, that's stuff, that I think that people like whenever I meet someone new, whether in my job it's like a client or someone for the first time, and like I just always fear that like they're not going to take me as like because just because of the way that I sometimes I talk or the way that I look just personally, they're just not going to take me like seriously per se, which is not good in a sense, but it's something that I've tried to work on and be like, hey, like it doesn't matter like what I look like initially, but just be as professional as I possibly can and like just talk and like just be kind of like patient and stuff like that. And it doesn't help either that I have like a pretty bad stutter sometimes. So like whenever I get in my head and I'm talking to someone and like I stutter on like a word and it's super embarrassing, and I struggle with that too. So just trying to like be very patient, but that's a big thing I struggle with, and I really
Mm-hmm.
fear whenever I talk to people, personally. So.
Do you is that on your mind a lot? Like, is that every time you meet someone at work, is that thought like constantly in the back of your head?
Uh, honestly, yeah, it really is, and it's not good. Like I said, I've been trying to work on it, but
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's definitely present almost every time I talk to someone. Yeah, so
If you don't mind me asking, like, what are current ways you've been trying to work on that? Like, what are you trying to do about it? I guess
yeah, no,
put you on the
well,
spot.
for me, no, 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 that's fine. Honestly, for me, I've just been like, kind of just like, starting off like just talking like slow and like not really care. I mean, I shouldn't say not caring what they think about me, but like, um, just thinking about what I'm gonna say, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of tough, to really. I mean, what would you recommend? Like, I've tried working on it, but like, I just feel like it's ever so present in my mind that it's just
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. Like, I just try and be as calm as I can, but um, I don't know.
Can
It's
I give
tough.
my joke answer?
Yeah, yeah, you can go.
Get shit faced right before you talk to anyone. Little liquid confidence.
Like no, like I feel like I can be professional. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know that I've talked in like professional people before, but I just know that like sometimes like I either like stutter a lot or I just might come off as like, ooh, this guy, doesn't like he doesn't seem like professional or he doesn't seem like he's been in this like scenario before. I don't know. And that's just what I
Yeah.
think about it. But
I mean, it sounds similar to like I think it's called imposter syndrome. Especially like if we're talking about that professional aspect where you feel like you shouldn't be there. In your case, like that professional side of it. Um, I don't know. I mean, tangibly, what I would say, at least what's worked for me, is a couple of different things. Is write something down as a reminder. For me, if I write it down on paper, like I have sticky notes around me at all times, and
I'm
I'll
a
just write
big
things on my desk
yeah.
and slap it down because you can remember it, but the moment you get in that high pressure situation, that's out the door. You're not thinking about that
Yeah.
at all. You're thinking on a belong or this person. Oh, is my tie? Is my shirt? Oh, and you're just constantly worried about all this junk that doesn't matter, right? So try and start writing reminders that you'll see often, and write whatever you think, whether it's, hey, don't care as much about what, people think, or don't worry about my speech, I think that helps just kind of build that reinforcement and make it really stay in your head. Another thing I'd say to try is find someone that is around you that's really good at not caring what people think. That, in a way, kind of, I know you guys talked about it in the episode where you know, exuding confidence in that aspect, but find someone that can almost be a mentor you can look up to and see how they do it in person. Because honestly, you know, in every professional sense, like, I seem pretty confident. Like, in my mind, right before I go out there, I'm still like, oh, I'm still nervous. But there's this switch that you just like, you know what? That's okay. I'm human. Everyone's nervous. Oh, well. And you just go for it anyway. And that leads into the third thing is realize people are probably thinking the same exact thing while talking to you. And so it's this aspect that no one is perfect. And you have to realize that to let go of micromanaging and putting that perfection on yourself. It's okay that you stutter. Everyone does it. It's okay that, you know, fill in the blank. If you mess up, move on from it, right? And that, you know, that kind of comes from a confidence aspect. But even on that letting go side of things is you just got to realize that if they're going to sit there and say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to Noah because he messed up one word. That's crap. Like, no one's going to do that. And if they are, you don't want to be around them as a friend, or, you know, maybe professionally, you probably still want the sale or whatever, but, you know, they're not the best client. It's not the type of people. They suck. In just,
no,
you know,
I understand.
flat out terms, right?
And I think too, I think it stems back to what, you know, Drew and I talked about too, like exuding this like self-confidence factor. You know, like Drew talks about it all the time. He's like, you know, and I know I do it. Like, it's like I always say, like, what do I say, Drew? Like,
you always say my ugly mug, and then I tell you to shut up.
yeah, that sort of thing. Like, that sort of thing I'm really trying to work on. It's like that just shouldn't be said about yourself. You know, it's like I really need to, like, you know, work on that thing. And I think that that stems from this. So
Yeah,
it's all
I would say write that down, like on a sticky note. Say, don't say ugly mug, and put it on your desk where you actually see it. Because I'm not saying that you're doing this, but a lot of people that I know are, I'm working on it, or I'll get to it eventually, or you know, maybe next week I'll go, you know, try this. But like, in the moment, you can still do things to help build yourself up. And, you know, when you write it down or actively think about it, next time you go to say that, you'll be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. Right. And so it's kind of like taking that responsibility to sit there and be like, oh, I want to say this, and I know I still want to say it, but I'm not going to. And that might feel like nothing, but that is such a small win in letting go of even what your inner self is thinking about yourself, right? So there's that whole aspect of confidence. If you know, view yourself in, you know, whichever way you view yourself, that's a battle with your inner resistance, is what I would say. And you can start taking actions to stop caring and letting go of what that inner side self of you thinks. That was a lot of circles, but that kind of made sense, I think.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Drew, to help that make sense?
You got it, Noah.
Thanks, Drew. I love your vote of confidence.
And then one other thing that I'll add, just tangible, is have friends that build you up. So I know you have, you know, this guy and like a few other people, but, you know, have relationships that can ask you, like, hey man, are you struggling with anything? Or like, you know, you said this, where you at? Are you trying? You know, did you win today? Did you lose? Like, let's talk about it. And it kind of opens it up and makes it less scary to let go of, because you're holding it inside you right now. But in order to let it go, you kind of got to get it out there and get comfortable with even admitting to yourself that that's what's happening. So those are kind of the tangible things I would say in that aspect.
I like it.
What about you, Drew? The OG question of, you know, where do you struggle in this? Or, you know, is there something that you always wonder if people think about you, or has that impacted your life?
I think I talked about it a little bit with Ian. Of like, I think I get caught between the thing of always wondering if people either will take me like not serious at all, and then if I try to break out of that, like I wanted to talk about with Ian's thing, that I just lose the whole fun side of me and all that stuff. And then people go, he changed. He's not the same person anymore, something like that. And like, I don't know. I think I struggle a lot with that of like, I don't want to, I think I push off a lot of like self-improvement things or things that like, I feel like hold me back a little bit because I am afraid would maybe feel like I lose part of myself or people will see me as a different person and then maybe treat me different. And I don't really want that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess just the other part is just that I feel like when I do try to be serious, people still look at that and kind of just go, that's not you. Like, he's just joking around or something like that. Or, I don't know. I feel like, it's a balance between wanting to take it more serious, but not wanting to lose the fun side.
Do you think you can't have both?
I don't know. I would like to.
Like, in all actual, like, is there a party that says, I probably can't have that?
I think you can.
Then you can.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, that's how simple it is. You sit there and you're like, well, maybe not. Okay, that's a mental barrier you're setting up for yourself to not let go of that. Like, you aren't letting go of the inner wall right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of just this decision, but I don't know. That's my take on it.
I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of not really along the lines of manifesting because I don't know if I'm fully on that. I guess speak it into existence, you get a little bit more confidence kind of thing, and then you make it happen yourself. It's not. I don't know if this is how it's viewed, but I feel like some people view manifesting as like if I speak it, it happens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, but yeah, I agree with you. It's that's part of this that I'm going to give it a pushback right away, is because if it was that easy, I feel like I would have done it by now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not just as easy as saying, okay, I can have both. I have to actually actively take steps towards that. And I can answer your question. If not, I don't know what I would do to take steps towards that. So
that's fair. I was just going to say it's like the manifesting thing. I don't really know if that's true either, but I would lean more towards just like it's a mentality aspect of it. If you're willing to push through that resistance and start letting things go, you're going to see results, whether it's in the, goal that you have or other aspects of your life. There's something that's going to change because you're changing such a big part of you. And one of my college professors once said, like, in times of high friction, so big change in your life, is when it's easiest to let go of other things or change your habits or build new habits. And so that's why I'm saying, like, if you decide to let it go, it opens up this avenue. And I don't know if that's manifesting, but, it kind of lets you start taking steps down that road and actually have tangible change.
Sounds like a textbook definition of manifesting.
Maybe.
I've
never really looked at manifesting.
I think manifesting is more of a TikTok thing. Like a TikTok definition, not a textbook one.
Fair enough.
I think there's a pretty clear difference, and I think it makes sense of like the TikTok definition of things and then the real life definition of things.
Me.
You get the answer now. The light's pissing me off.
I kind of brought it up, I really used to be controlled by what other people thought. And one big example of this too is, and you kind of brought it up, is, if you change, what will that have implications on friendships? Will people be like, oh, you're not the same? And I had this really cool professor in college kind of talk to me about it, and he was like, honestly, life, you're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow. You're not going to be the same person. At least you shouldn't be the same person from when you're a senior in high school to when you're a senior in college. There should be big, drastic differences. Yeah, there's the core personalities, but those can change, and it's okay to change if you want them to. And so for me, like, what was really hard is actually accepting that. Because, in high school and then, your atmosphere too, coming back home, I'm sure we all experience this. You're one person at college, you come back home and you're instantly with high school friends or your family or, you name it, your atmosphere goes back to something you used to be in a lot. You transition that person again. And it just feels really weird. And that happened to me a lot in college, like coming back to family, high school, or even going to different friend groups in college itself. I felt like I was like 10 different people and no one actually like knew me, because I, like, in a weird fancy way of saying it, is like I didn't really know who I was either. And that's kind of what caused a lot of like the depression aspects in the sophomore and junior year. But, you know, what really happens and what helped me change is really accepting the fact to not care anymore, is to really just be myself. You know, I still heed advice, take, you know, into consideration what other people think, but don't let it dictate where I was going. And I've found a lot of success with that, but it's still something I have to like practice daily. It's something I have to wake up and remind myself, you know, keep trying, keep pushing, and I'm going to fail. And I think in the big thing where you actually find change is when you are able to fail 4 times and still try again the next day. So that's what I'm trying to do with that. So yeah.
I like having other people on, so I don't have to say all the good things. It's nice when people can round out their points and not go like me and then eventually come back.
I'm sure it has a lot of mumble jumble, but hopefully it made sense in some aspects.
I mean, that's like, you know, not to say that you can't, you know, speak on this and fix things for people or help people through things, because obviously, you know, you got a lot of questions through Noah there, so I assume, hopefully, Noah has something going in his brain from this now. But with like everyone else that does listen to this, mostly just what we want to get out of it is like when we go to like our more serious topics. Last with NFL, you probably lost brain cells on that one. I feel like I did. But like with the real topics, the serious ones, our main goal is just to get your mind moving a little bit, you know. We know we're not experts. You know we're not experts. And we're pretty much all the same point of life. Within 2-3 years, probably everyone listens to this regularly, at least. Yeah, so we really just want to get your brain working a little bit, get you thinking about these things, because they're real. If you're at a point in life where you're like not behind, but like I guess younger, or like not out of school, I don't know, anything like that. We've experienced these things, so now we're talking about them. That's kind of what happens. Kind of just helping give you tools, I guess, to navigate your way through it a little bit better than we did. Because as you've heard from what Andrew said, you know, it wasn't always easy. I've said it's not always easy. Noah's talked about it not always being easy. And that's okay. You know, that's when, like, that is your resistance. We're here because at some point or other, we have fought through resistance, made it past it. If we didn't, this podcast wouldn't exist. I mean, even the podcast alone, there's been plenty of resistance. Now, more recently, and it's beaten me a little bit. I'm a week behind. But
that
hey,
stuff happens.
This is season 2, and it's the first time I've gotten behind on a podcast episode, so I'm proud of that. Yeah, I've seen that. I just went somewhere. I don't remember where I was.
No, you're good. I'll add one thing onto that is, you know, kind of what Drew's getting at is we can beat the dead horse as many times as we want, say as many extraordinary one-liners as we can, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do something if you want change. Like, you yourself have to sit there, and whether it's, you know, set yourself up for success, write things down, plan to take action, there still has to be some commitment from your own brain to say, you know what, like, I'm going to change. I'm going to start letting go of this. I'm going to start chasing this, and actually taking action, too many words, towards that. That's on you, no matter what. And, you know, once you realize that and start doing that, yeah, I don't know, I won't promise it, but from my experience and from people I've seen, that's when people start finding out who they are and what they really love and their passions, and like find a lot of joy and comfort and peace all at the same time while remaining in discomfort and like pushing yourself. And it's not going to be easy, but you'll still have those outcomes. So I think it's just a huge encouragement from us is to actually just tomorrow or today go tangibly do something.
It kind of ties back into the thing that I've kept up with a lot, really well, is the hypervision challenge I made before the season started. I think was the whole like going out and doing something new. What was I said? I think said once, twice a month, something like that. I clearly had done really well with it because I remember what it was. But like a lot of it was based off of the fact of like things that I was wanting to push out in my life, and I kind of wanted to see if other people felt the same way, or if like if people are going through the same things I was in my brain, that this might help them or like be their sign they were looking for to start pushing and actually doing the things that like help them fight that resistance. Because that was the thing, is like we can't do it for you as much as anything I can say on here cannot fix you. It probably can hurt you.
Don't say that.
Allegedly hurt you. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
I love
yeah. Jameson said that on his podcast to try and agitate me.
He did. Man, I need to just say my sentence when I have it. You do it on your own is what I'm trying to say, I think, right? Eventually you gotta start doing it.
Yeah.
So
No, what are you thinking, man? What's that? You got a thought on your mind?
No, I'm good, man. I'm just going back to what you said. Really, it's just you have to make a change for yourself. Like you have to be the one to do it, and I just I think that's just key. I mean, honestly, it is. You have to find some will in your body to do it. To do it yourself, which can be tough. But I think if you want to make a change, it has to be done. So.
Yeah. For listeners too, one thing I recommend is like picking one thing, try not to get overwhelmed with a whole lot of changes, and then tell someone you're close to or someone you trust, be like, hey, I'm going to try this. Can you check up with me? Can you keep me accountable? And if not, you have two podcast hosts right here that probably love to help out their audience. If you don't shake your head now. I think he'd help. So if you need people, like, they're there for anyone. So because they care about you guys.
not Adam. It's been a while since I pulled him on the podcast. I gotta bring that back. I thought I had something.
I guess not. Topic if you want me to go for it.
You gotta spend money to make money. That's how I view it. Yeah. A little bit of that mindset,
No? Yeah.
If you view, if you take out money and put in, your life, and you gotta do things in your life to get a better life, I guess. I don't know. Spend money to make money.
It's true.
One last thought that just kind of crossed my mind, and I know a lot of people kind of told me this, is like sometimes it feels like it's not okay to let go because for one example, like what other people would think. Let's say like you just need to take a week break and not talk and just go and get your mind cleared, and that might hurt people or offend people, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just gotta let go and take responsibility for yourself and get yourself healthy and build habits. And so I just want to encourage you guys to be okay with letting go. Like that's as simple as it is. And I know we're like talking about all these different points of letting go, but it's okay to do that. 100%. If you have to take that week, if you have to stop talking to one person, if you, it hurts other people, hopefully it's not, too drastically, or like if they get offended, it's for your health. So take it seriously. And, that's one thing I'll say is it's okay to let go. if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's an important reminder, because I think when people are going through things, or like, maybe they cut themselves off a little bit more, but I feel like I feel like it's not a thing that is looked at as much of a thing. It's just like just completely space yourself from things, because sometimes it really is what you need. It's a very, I think it's on the very extreme side of something, just to cut yourself off, like not completely, but like really just for the I'm not supposed to say that on the podcast anymore. For the most part, just like distancing yourself and giving yourself that space and time. Because like I've done I think 2 social media breaks where I just take it off my phone. I don't look at it. I think the best I've done is like 2 months, but it was good, honestly, because I was using social media just way too much, and it was. I think even Ian talked about it, just like the way he thinks social media was toxic and all that stuff. And like, this is a guy that works in media. Like, he, not like it's saying, don't be in media at all. Like, we talk on Twitter all the time, but like there are just so many toxic sides of that like I was like, I need to get away from it. This isn't helping right now. And right now I'm currently at a point where I'm okay with it. It's my job technically, so I have to, but like personal accounts and everything like that I just like when I'm outside of work and everything and not doing things for this, maybe it helps that I don't have as much time just for the personal side of it, which is, I guess, is good. Just trying to find that balance. And currently I'm in a good place with that. So I think taking a few breaks with it to try to figure out and realize that, like, because I think a big thing with like just the social media break is like when you are like thinking of like doing that, like if you've thought about it before, your first thing was probably like, oh, but I'm going to miss out on so much. What you're going to miss out on so much of is so much garbage. And there's cool things on social media, obviously, and everything. Like you'll see cool highlights. You'll see some of what your friends are doing.
Think of a social media post you saw a month ago.
I can't think of one I saw today. Yeah. But like, yeah, you would miss out on like a couple of your friends' fake life updates, because that's mostly what it is. There's a couple real life updates, but like if
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's all, and I think we're all in this boat. It's all just a humble brag to a point. It's it's like who you're with, what do what new house did you move into, what car did you get, what relationship are you in. It's like how I look at it. I know I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. I'm sorry, but social media is just. It is an insane place. It is an insane place. But how I take it, it's like it's just all humble brags. It's like, is it really going to affect your life personally? And most of the time, it is not. So that's just sorry my little tangent there. But
how
so
dare you go on a tangent?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. It's like, yes, if you want to take a social media break, like. Now, for me, it would suck because I'm all about like the sports stuff, and then I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I don't see that, like, let's say if I was taking a social media break and the Donovan Mitchell trade stuff happened, I would have been furious if I didn't see that. Whenever it exactly happened, if I didn't see it, I would have been furious. So in that case, yes. But what people are doing, what they're seeing, I could honestly care less about that. But yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That was really the only reason I wanted to keep. I think I wanted to keep Twitter when I did my social media breaks, just because that's where I get like 90% of my like soccer intake from. And saying that probably doesn't give me much credibility as someone that talks about soccer, because 90% of what's on there is stupid and wrong. But like, there's
it's wrong when it's wrong.
Yeah.
So.
But like, that's where I get most of my news and where I see most of like the cool stats that I enjoy and all that stuff. And like, there's cool things on there for it. But yeah, when I was on there and like the first like 3 days, it was just like, I wasn't like that I missed it, but it was just like, I realized how much I was on it. Cause like I would open up my phone and my thumb would just go to where the app was, but there was nothing there. Or like it was a different app that I'd click on and be like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Like I would just get on my phone because like I'm just sitting there, I'm like, let me try to get on Snapchat. There's just no, like, I don't have anything sitting there. Like, I just wanted to go see what was going on. But, like, even now, like, it's gotten me to the point where, like, on Snapchat stories, I genuinely just, like, leave over half of the people that post on there. I just don't look at it.
Oh yeah, of course. I
I look
don't.
at like 15 people, and they're like the 15
Yeah.
close people in my life.
And again, post whatever you want. It's fine. Like I'm not saying don't post. I could care less what you post. But it's just, yeah, I'm right there with you. I have a select few people that I look at, and it's like I don't care. I mean, whatever the other people post, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll look what I want to look at. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But
So it sounds like we're good on letting go of social media. We did that. That's one thing
That's
down.
a-
We
that's
can
a
let go of
tangent.
that. Well, Noah
That's
apparently can.
It's his job, kind of.
Well, no, because of that he said that he would have been pissed if he missed the Cavs
Yeah,
trade.
he's got to know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
80% for Noah, he could quit social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, and it's not even like it's a toxic thing. Like that's a big part of your life is that stuff. So it's not like I should be like, oh, you can't, whatever.
I think the social media thing just comes down to like knowing yourself and how you use it. If you use it too much, part of it you got to let go. But that just comes to knowing yourself and where you're at with it.
Yeah.
To circle back a little bit, you brought up like the cutting things out. I think what I said could have been misinterpreted. I didn't mean just like cut everything out, cut everyone out. But like what I mean is like if you need to just take a break and like let things go, you're not cutting people out of your life for drama or for attention or to think it helps other people, but you're kind of like, hey, I just need to like not do anything or hang out for this amount of time for yourself. That's kind of where I was leaning is like to work on yourself. It's okay to take a break from things. So just wanted to make sure that's understood.
Or go off the grid.
I'm off the grid.
I think I could do that. I've always. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, go for it.
I was gonna think like, do you think you guys could? I think I could do it with people. Like, let's say you guys. Let's say all three of us went out to. I'm not a big outdoorsy type of guy, but just theoretically, let's just say we just went off the grid. We were just together, like in a cabin, like in the woods. Just theoretically. I think I could do it. Like no social media, no phone. No, you're literally off the grid. I think we could do it. I would do it with people. I think by myself I couldn't do it, but if I was with other people that would be doing the same thing, I think I could do it.
I love that stuff. I've done that both by myself and with people, and it's always refreshing. I think with people, like I would always do it like a week in college where a lot of me and my friends would just go camp and not bring phones. And
Sure.
you just make so many stupid memories that you will like remember the rest of your life. And there's no recording or whatsoever. It's only up here, and I don't know. It was always really meaningful when we didn't because it made it a lot more intentional.
No, that's fair. That's good. I want to do that one time.
Let's do it right now.
Interesting.
This weekend.
Well, no, can't do that.
Pick a date, Noah, and then commit and go for it.
Imagine do it this weekend, first week of NFL season. Oh, I would go ballistic.
We can watch football. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I guess you can watch it, but yeah, it's. We're in prime fantasy season now.
It's true. I'm not.
What?
Lazard is probably out for week 1, so I just don't care. Honestly.
Ooh.
If I go 0-1 in every league, I won't care. But I'll let go of it.
I love it. It all comes full circle.
I eventually find my way. Although this episode, I assume we're pretty much close to it. I haven't thought of like an idea, but not been able to say the word that I wanted for it, and then had to find it 30 minutes later. Because normally I'll start saying something, but and that's kind of like, and then I sit there for 20 seconds and I go, well, that's getting cut. And then I decide if it actually does get cut or not. I really enjoy leaving in when people say that's getting cut. It's one of my favorite things of editing.
Mm-hmm.
So But that part was a quote. That wasn't me saying I'm going to cut it.
Yeah.
But this is getting cut.
Well, anything else? No, man?
No,
Oh, man.
I'm good. I'm good, man.
Well, I'd say if you guys ever have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I try to help out even if I don't know you.
I'll put his phone number in the bio.
Yeah.
No, like Andrew said, I jokingly said no about it earlier, unless you are Adam, and then don't talk to me. We are here to help you. If you need someone that will be like your accountability partner or something like that. If it's as simple as like just telling us, hey, I'm going to do this, you don't even need me to check up on you. I'm good to just be a wall to talk at. I'm okay with that. I've felt like a lot of times, sometimes I just need to shout at a wall or talk to someone just to even get it out is so much better than just anything else. Noah's very good at this because I do it to him a lot of just speaking things at him. And so I've trained Noah here very well, I think, to be able to, if he can deal with anything I'm saying, he's more than got you. That's pretty much what I'll say. So we got your back.
I live for it, man. I love it.
Well,
I love it.
I think that's all we got.
Awesome.
Andrew,
it's always a pleasure having you on.
Always a pleasure, man. Looking forward to when you come down.
And camp.
Yeah.
And we're going camping. I'm writing that down. I do enjoy taking people out of their comfort zone. So now that you have given me not really permission, but I'm taking it as permission to do that for you, it's going to happen.
I'll do it. I have done it. It's just not my thing, man.
No. You said you're going to do it. That's all I need.
So, okay. Well, we'll see. No, but always a pleasure. Hopefully I have you on a few more times. You're going to be easily accessible now, so.
It's true. If anyone falls out, I'll just walk next door.
Oh, hey. Yeah. No, it's a pleasure being here. So.
Yeah, I enjoy it because then I get less words in. It's nice. I feel like I'm less ranty when I have someone like a guest on here. When it's just me and Noah, it's the Wild West. Although that said, Josiah was on, but that whole episode I think was meant to be the Wild West.
Yeah, I want to know. I just. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a pleasure having Andrew on. We hope you at least got something out of it. Get your mind moving, plant a little seed, get a little spark going. And again, if you ever want to reach out to us or Andrew, I'm sure we can work it out somehow. Peace.